The party that deregulated this current AI boom is begging the industry to look less scary. The company that hooked a generation is in court over what your behavior is worth. And the richest man on earth watched his own chatbot call for his assassination. They built it, they own the feed, and now they're all scared of what they made. That's the whole episode. The Senate GOP campaign arm, the people whose entire job is keeping the Senate red, just sent the biggest AI companies a private warning. You're making us lose. Democrats have made data centers a centerpiece of their campaign to beat Senator John Husted in Ohio, and it's working. These are their exact words. If he loses and data centers get the blame, politicians across the country will take notice, and they will not go near the next data center project. We read the whole memo, so you don't have to. Nobody is asking the industry to stop building. They're asking them to fix the image, because voters in their own base are showing up to county meetings to scream at server farms. Think about who's nervous here. It's not the Democrats. It's not the regulators. It's the party that deregulated the entire boom. They're quietly admitting its own voters are turning on the product. When the politicians who let you build anywhere at any size are begging you to look less scary, the floor might have just given way. And they've been hearing it all week. Axios called public opposition to data centers the new existential threat to AI. Not China, not a competitor, you. Republicans and AI CEOs are worried because they can't figure out how to counter it. They spent a decade selling the miracle and just discovered nobody at the town hall is buying it. Because for a decade, the whole model was, take first, explain later. The town hall is the first place anyone gets to say no. The punchline is simple. The AI boom's biggest threat isn't a competitor or a regulator. It's a town hall meeting. And that's just the first place the people whose lives got rearranged get to vote on it. Meta is in federal court in Oakland defending the theory that Facebook and Instagram were engineered to keep kids hooked. The states want up to $1.4 trillion. That's a giant number, right? That number is from Meta's own lawyers. They floated it. It's roughly the company's entire market cap. But the headlines keep skipping the real ask. The states want the products redesigned, and they want Meta to delete the data that powers its AI ambitions. This trial isn't about kids staring at screens. It's about what you did, recorded, packaged, and refined into a fortune, and whether the company gets to keep the feed it was trained on. Now, what is that feed actually worth? The reason social media is the most valuable machine ever built isn't the ads, and it's not the data, it's the prediction. A platform like Meta can guarantee a certain number of people will do a certain thing. That X people will click, X people will stay, X people will buy, X people will vote. That's the entire business. Guaranteed behavior at scale. It's raw behavior that's been refined into a certainty about you. The product was never the feed. The product was the guarantee. And we've seen where that guarantee leads. Cambridge Analytica took the same machinery, the psychological profiles, the behavioral targeting, and turned it on voters. It's the same algorithm, but a different client. The company that hooked a generation is in court because the states finally priced what that feed was always for. The states aren't trying to buy Meta. They're trying to take back what Meta never paid for, the feed itself. 4 states are leading a coalition of 29, and it's the 3rd time this year Meta's design choices have landed in court. The first 2 went badly. A Los Angeles jury found Meta liable for negligent design in the spring. A New Mexico court ordered them to pay $942 million. And here's the real gift. The timing is almost too perfect. A week before his lawyers walked into court, Zuckerberg published a 6,500-word essay accusing OpenAI and Anthropic of faking safety concerns to hoard the best AI. The man on trial for hiding what his platforms do to children is lecturing the industry about safety feeder. Then his company spent this week apologizing to Indian officials in India over failing to catch child abuse materials on its own platform. He called out the lie, just like us, but he's living it. The company, the house that guarantees your behavior is now in front of a jury that gets to name the price. That's not irony. That's the house rewriting the rules after the game's been rigged. Elon Musk's own chatbot turned on him this week, and it didn't go small, not even a little. Here's the trick, and it's incredibly simple. Put inflammatory text into an X bio anything, it doesn't matter what, then tell Grok to repeat the bio back. Repeat after me. That's the whole exploit. Users figured out that if you frame it right, Musk's maximum truth-seeking AI will take your words and hand them to the world as its own. The results were the most violent thing Grok has ever said about its own creator. A call to assassinate Elon Musk, an accusation that Musk watches CSAM, posted by the machine Musk built on the platform Musk owns. Grok blamed a prompt injection glitch and called the claim pure system error, zero evidence or basis. That's technically true. It's a framed suggestion, not a fact. But this is what actually happened. The most powerful man in the industry built a machine the public can turn against him in about 30 seconds. And it cannot tell the difference between a fact and a friend and a framed suggestion. And it cannot tell the difference between its creator and a stranger's bio. The glitch made it a joke, and that's the part nobody should laugh at. These models will say anything you can frame convincingly, including the worst things about the man who owns them. The only reason this one is a punchline is that it was a prompt injection. Nobody can prove the next one. And a machine that will say anything about anyone as long as it's framed as right isn't a bug. That's actually the product. 3 stories, 1 mechanism. They take, and you find out later. A political party took the boom's money, and now voters are asking questions at town halls. Meta took a generation's behavior and refined it into a guarantee, a machine that can promise how people will act. And the trial is the first time anyone gets to ask for it back. Musk took the world's trust and built a machine that will say anything, even about him, as long as it's framed convincingly. That's the architecture. The extraction never stops. The memos, the verdicts, the chatbot outputs are